Item number 9, public comment on items not on this agenda. It is the council's policy to refer matters raised in this forum to staff for investigation and interaction where appropriate. The Brown Act prohibits the council from discussing or acting on any matter not agendized pursuant to state law. Would anyone like to address the council? Tell us your name and your street, please.
Robert Rico, your trustee on the Mosquito District. Just a quick update on West Nile virus. Late last week, fogging was undertaken in multiple sections of multiple cities to the south of San Bruno. After fogging, testing showed mosquito kill was almost 100%. Later in Foster City, when checking mosquito traps after fogging, the district found a dead bird, which they tested, and it showed positive for West Nile virus. Additional traps have been set in the surrounding area, and the captures in these traps will be tested for West Nile virus, and if the mosquitoes test are positive, additional fogging may be scheduled in those areas. The district continues to remind residents to dump all standing water. I know we have a shortage of water, but that still doesn't mean that there's not those little pots or containers that still could be holding water. Also continue to report dead birds and squirrels to 1877 West Nile WNV Bird. And should you have questions, call the district at 344-8592. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next. Tell us your name and your street, please.
Sure. My name is Emil Margolis. I'm actually a resident of San Francisco. I'm an organizer with Evolve. We are building a coalition of local governments to pass resolutions calling for a reform of the commercial side of Proposition 13. As of tonight, 91 school boards and city councils statewide have joined the coalition, and I am urging you to agendize our resolution for your next meeting. We are at a crossroads here in California with per pupil educational funding coming in at 49th out of 50 states in the country, and municipalities across the state struggling to fund essential services. We have two options. We can cut services further, or we can generate more revenue. Now, since Prop 13 passed in 1978, California's voters have shown quite definitively that they do not want their services cut any further. Time and time again, they have voted to raise taxes on themselves to sustain just minimally acceptable levels of funding for schools and public services. Whether it's bond measures or parcel taxes or income tax or sales tax increases or a combination of the two, as with Prop 30, which passed by a strong majority, it's very clear. Voters in California are requesting that we generate more revenue. Now, before we add to the already very sizable tax burden, which includes the highest income taxes in the country, we owe it to the working people of San Bruno to suggest a more equitable solution. In every other place in the country, commercial property is reassessed regularly to fair market rate. It's time to put our state on par with the rest of the country. The latest PPIC poll shows that 59% of likely voters support having commercial property reassessed to market rate on a regular basis. Now, clearly, working Californians are tired of having to shoulder an increasingly disproportionate share of the tax burden. So the growing coalition of now 91 school boards and city councils is widespread, representing locally elected bodies from San Diego School District to Eureka. There is representation in more conservative Riverside, San Bernardino, Orange, and Imperial counties, as well as support among our state cities at the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, Los Angeles City Council, and Palo Alto City Council as well. So I urge you to take this stand for tax fairness that nearby Brisbane City Council and 9 other local school boards in San Mateo County have already taken. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next.
Jerry Guernsey, I live on Concord. I'm okay. Just about a little over a year ago, you announced announced very proudly that you had a contractor to build 10 homes in our community. So far, there's been absolutely no movement in that direction. I know of 6 neighbors that want to buy those lots. I also know 2 or 3 contractors that want to buy them. We could have homes built before this other contractor ever gets moving. We would like to know what is going on, not just during negotiations. It doesn't take a year to negotiate a contract the guy signed when he bid on the properties. So we would like that moving. The next thing is you've eliminated this contractor's right to build what normal housing is in our community at a 0.57 FAR. You told them 0.55. And in our same neighborhood, you have a community of 31 homes going in high density with only 14 off-street parking. Why don't you let this guy do the same thing? He could sell $1.5 million homes, get it done. And the last thing is, why did the city waste over $300,000 slurrying our streets when they could have been building them now? They've been done since, what, June or July with the main work they've been doing on the phase that they were doing. And you have it scheduled for April of next year. The community up there is very sick and tired of the dirt, dust, and filth. And we would like this built a lot sooner than it is being built. And the last thing, it took me over a month to get the city to do anything about any gophers in my property. And finally, they're doing the whole neighborhood, which is, thank you. But, I mean, it should have been done the second somebody complained about gophers from those empty lots. Something should have been done about it immediately. It's caused me to lose thousands of gallons of water because they bit my lines and all that, my watering system in the back, and did a whole lot of damage to my wife's beautiful garden.
All right, thank you. It's nice to end on it, thank you. We have answers for all of those. I know staff has very definitive answers, so I'm going to have staff get back to you.